Hello, everybody. I just wanted to do a review, basically Smugmug versus the new updated Photo Merchant. And so I kind of wanted to go over pluses and minus. I've been using Smugmug for quite a while now for selling my photography. It's got a really good layout. If images look small in this, I'm recording at a very high resolution. So some images may not stretch, but they've got pretty good themes on Smugmug. Their pricing is pretty good, and wanted to go over just a little bit of the ins and outs so you guys can judge for yourself. Um, but yeah, let's get started. So homepage, they have a pretty good layout on just their website. Some basic customization options. How things are laid out. You can do very. I'll close that out. I have that video saved for later. Um, you know, you can set up things however you want. Their customizations as far as the themes is really in depth. It does have some limitations, but I think it gets the job done pretty well. So I'll give you an example based on the home page. So site-wide theme, this is where you can go to actually, let's go to the theme editor. So they have all these different themes. For my thoughts, I think a lot of them are pretty similar. You can tell like Oslo right here is exactly the same as Spartan, just a little bit of font variations, and they set it up as a background image. But Arrow and Spartan are very close, and it's just a lot of their themes are very photocentric, which is good if you're a photographer, obviously. But one of the biggest things that Smugmug has lacked, and it's been one of the biggest things that a lot of people have been looking for quite a while, is the ability to blog. And they don't really have a lot when it comes to that. So when you just choose off with your basic theme, you'll get out of that because I'm not going to change mine right now, but you can go to content and design and it'll open up kind of like a theme editor over here. So you can choose things like I'll choose out the highlighted areas, drop in specific elements inside of your theme. So if like say I wanted a new text block, I could just do text and drop it off and it'll kind of highlight the areas. It's a little bit finicky, which is another thing that I've noticed. But it's also been one of those things where uh, it's kind of just what you want to do with it. And I think it's also part of it is what browser you're using. I don't know if it's fully compatible, but when you get it to the right area, you can add titles to different areas, things like that, and customize the titles for each page, or have like a site-wide kind of thing. So like the sidebar shows up on every page, kind of thing. So it's pretty good like that. I just think it's a little bit clunky. You can also discard changes, save it for later. I'm going to go into the account settings so that you can kind of see what the pricing details are like. Uh, so let's go here, business, branding, price list, manage price list. So I've set up a couple of ones, and you can go through and edit the list and set up pricing for just about every single thing you want. The pricing is pretty good. It shows you the base cost, and so like right now the base is 49 cents. I'm selling it for $1. I'm not really making any money on this because they have a minimum that you can really do to process transactions anyways. Uh, so it's kind of just what I usually send it for. Not all of these are being utilized at this moment. So we'll get out of that. Go back to my home page. Um, on the plus side of this versus Photo Merchant, when you're logged in, you have a very easy way to get back to the dashboard area. So you're pretty much editing most of the website from the front of the website. Their upload settings are pretty quick, so you can upload a new gallery or existing gallery. Another way to do that is in this organize area, which they've been slowly going through and updating things. So if I go into like portfolio, you can see all of the portfolio ones in here. And you can create a new gallery from here, or you can do it from the front of the site. I like doing it from the back end. I just think it's a little bit easier to organize, and it stops me from preventing uploading to incorrect areas and having to move the gallery later. Uh, they do have a really easy way to download full galleries. Unfortunately, it seems that they used to. They just recently fixed it where it was renaming the files, but you are able to upload in full resolution. I think it's 20 megabytes at the moment for photos per photo, and it's unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth. So let's go over to the features for that. I'm on the 25 uh, just because I wanted a little bit more marketing options. And it used to be quite a bit more expensive, just mind you. I mean, originally, just the portfolio one was, I think, $40 a month. So they've just recently started dropping their prices quite a bit. If you look through this, uh, you get to see basically, maximum photo size. See, it's jumped up to 150. Video size is 3 gigabytes. Video quality is 1080p, which they're talking about already moving it up to 4K, which is great. But they only have a max of 20 minutes right now. So short films, things like that, if you're selling video clips online, it's great. The community support, um, I don't believe in this. I've contacted Smugmug, and as far as it comes to your account, yeah, it'll be pretty good. If you want to talk to somebody about making a custom theme for your website, I think they refer you to a service that does that. As far as involvement with the community, as far as requests and things like that, the Smugmug forums have been pretty sparse. One of the things I was talking about was the blog. It's There's been people requesting that for years, and I do mean years. And even just something as simple as uh, making a good WordPress integration or allowing you to integrate an existing WordPress with this. Um, and their thing is, oh, well, just create a link in your website and have it link out. I'm like, no, if anybody's running a legit business, it looks weird when you're switching domain names. Also, the fact that it's kind of hard for people that aren't, big web developers to make their website look exactly like look exactly like this. Like, this seems pretty basic, right? But to get the exact theme, exact layout, exact way the website works responsively, because it is responsively, you can pull it up on your phone, iPad, whatever, and it'll format the content to work on any device. To build a WordPress theme that matches that exactly, um, it's not easy for a lot of people. And if you change one thing, you have to go back and change it in another. Where, it would just be so simple if they could just be like, okay, well, put in a little button over here for blog, go create your WordPress account, and we'll pull in the information for you. That way you could actually have a blog on your website. Now they have an API, which for people that don't know what that is, it's a way for people to build other applications on the platform that Smugmug was built on. And I have been looking into building a good Smugmug API, and the problem with that I have right now is it's still in beta. Which means it's not ready yet. They have an old version which doesn't do very much, which is open to the public. The beta one, you can still get it, but you have to have a Smugmug account. And they're already talking about working on the new version of that. So there's no point in even trying to develop an application for something that, for one, they don't have a whole lot of documentation in the API. It's there, but it's not great, or it's not great enough for people who are trying to pick it up for the first time. So if you're not an adept developer and making plugins and things like that for WordPress, it's impossible to kind of go through some of their documentation. So that brings me into let's see there. Let's go into their purchase interface. So their purchase interface, and you can set up different styles for these galleries. This is just one, but I have also noticed issues with things like if I have a lot of events, which I do have a lot of events. Going through, you'll notice that the bar, when scrolling, sometimes gets a little wonky, especially while loading, and then it'll click down afterwards. That's something they need to fix, and it's been on multiple themes. Anyway, let's go back into the portfolio just to see um, what the purchase areas look like. So the purchase area, uh, it's very basic. You can purchase this photo. You can add it to a light box, so you can go through. It's pretty nice. I like how theirs shows exactly what kind of product you're buying. So if you go to wall art, you can go to traditional canvas. And if you choose a size, it will show you an overlay of how that'll be cropped based on the type of canvas that you picked. So like stretch canvas doesn't really show too much, else flat mounted actually cuts off even less based on the size you're picking. Um, And they do have like pre-purchase options, so you can go through and change the photo to fit better with the design that they picked out. Now, you can obviously stop some certain products. So if you know you're never going to sell a 20 by 20, you can take that one out of your price list. So the price list is also very customizable. I wish they had these pictures a little bit, uh, a little bit better, maybe a little bit bigger, so people could see more of what they're buying. There is a see details, but it takes you out to another web page, which gives you product details. And we'll actually kind of show you that. Oh, looks like they fixed that too, so good on them. A little bit of a loading time on those. Not the greatest image to use it with either, because you can kind of tell that that's messed up there, which I've ordered their canvases before and they're actually they don't look like that, so they might want to go back through and redo that. Okay, so on to Photo Merchant, and I will get out of that, close out of that. So Photo Merchant, their backend interface is it looks just like WordPress. I know the platform this is developed on. And it's a Bootstrap platform, or Bootstrap platform that it's built on. It looks like something called Laravel, just a back way of building interfaces. And they did a very good job of it. I remember checking out Photo Merchant a few years back, and it looked nothing like this. Uh, they look like Zenfolio, which is still trying to push Flash galleries on people, which is terrible. Uh, they still have a bunch of their old themes in here, which look like their old legacy website, but they have punched out a bunch of new ones, which have a lot of simplicity to them that I'm actually enjoying, which I'm highly considering at this point moving over to Photo Merchant. There are two caveats which are stopping, maybe not me, but some people. One, when uploading images, they need to be in JPEG format. And some people are like, well, that's kind of annoying. And we're like, well, it's not like you can upload a raw file. Well, you can, but nobody's going to really be able to view that online. You have to download a raw file to view it. So there's not really going to be too many web interfaces that just allow you to upload raw files. So you can load like an uncompressed or a full resolution JPEG. As far as this, I haven't seen any size limits. So you can upload a 500 megabyte or gigabyte image if you wanted to this. I wouldn't suggest it, but you can. So first, I'm actually going to go with their plans as well. Their plan, the Streamline, is 28 a month. It's a little bit more. Honestly, you could probably go with the 14, which is just about the same as Smugmug. The reason I'm leaning towards this one a little bit more, I mean, the only thing you're really getting from moving to the 14 to 28 is the hiding of the Photo Merchant branding, which even on theirs is very minimal. Uh, I'm not even sure what this event search is. I haven't really played with that. Enhanced site search, don't really care about that. Description tag. Transaction fees is basically just done by, you know, this versus this, which I believe it's 5% for Smugmug as well. They accept a whole bunch of different types of payments. Honestly, this would probably be the one that I'm going to end up going with if I choose to decide to move over to it. But like I was saying, they don't really allow for uploading your own video, and it has to be in JPEG format. SmugMug allows you to upload anything else, GIF, PNG, things like that. But right now, Photo Merchant is only allowing for JPEGs. And they did say that they would be allowing for others in the future. So um, I'm expecting people to automatically start moving towards that route where all of the Photo Merchants type of services are going to be on the same type of plan. But the biggest reason that they've kind of caught me on this one is they have a blog. You can actually just built-in integrate a blog. So I'm going to go back to the front of the site. I haven't really built much on it. I just started bringing over some portfolios just to test. They have a client access area which automatically puts all of your password protected galleries, which is nice. It's really nice to actually have that auto organization. Portfolio is just where I made a portfolio page and just put it on there. They put a default one on there for you, but you can have sub navigations as well. This theme is mobile responsive. I'll show you the portfolio thing and the reasons that I really like it. One, is it automatically creates the image cover for each one of these, and it also assigns your latest one to the background, which I thought was a nice touch, in particular with this theme. Again, there is layout customizations, not as much as Smugmug, but the site seems to be quite a bit more responsive, quite a bit more friendly to the average viewer. Um, this is a 5K Retina display, so that's why a lot of things look smaller on a normal laptop or a normal screen, 1080p screen. This column, this 4 column, would probably take up the majority of your screen. So just keep that in mind when looking at this video. Um, there, I shouldn't have gone to that one. Go back out real quick. Their loading is pretty good, a little bit janky at times, but that could just be, them getting used to stuff. So like sets here with Laura and Sasha that I just did recently, um, you know, people can do it. I have the photo commerce turned off on a lot of these right now, so they won't work on that one, but I think I do have one there where it is turned on. I'll have to see if I can find that real quick. Nope. Anyway, I'll go turn that on so we can check that out in a minute. Um, Again, the reason I like this one now is, boom, a blog. And I only put 2 in there just to test. And again, it'll take the cover photo that you choose for your blog and set it up as the background for your blog landing page, which again I think is a really incredible, nice touch. Uh, so going into this, the reason I'm choosing this one is it's a way to get around the video is they actually allow you to integrate video into your blog post via YouTube or Vimeo, things like that. So long as it's got a link that it can grab, it'll allow you to go through and do that. And I will show you that. So let's get out of here. The reason I like this one also is, like I said, it's very similar to a WordPress back admin. So you just go create, and you can choose gallery categories, watermark, which you can create watermarks in Smugmug, but it's a thing that you do have to go through quite a bit of hoops to get to. They have one product, direct fulfillment, self-fulfillment products, a lot of things that Smugmug doesn't have. You can build these as pages for your website and then add sub pages, contacts groups. Gallery categories where I've actually been spending a lot of times. And that was actually creating a new one. Here's the one that you already have. So I have like my blog categories, my outdoor categories, fashion, bands, artistic portraits, which is right now what's on the portfolio page. So I'm actually going to add it as its own sub-page, events that I've shot pictures of. These are uncategorized ones up here, and then I will go through and add weddings in here later on. So I've been going through and adding a lot, but creating new galleries is very simple, or editing galleries is just as simple. Editing will take you to an edit screen. If you want to see and reorganize images that are on there, you just double click it, or you can click to drag to reorganize, which I also think is a really nice feature. There is some layout interface issues, like especially when I was in the gallery categories screen. Um, you know, there's 3 pages in here, and I'd like to be able to see more because it doesn't automatically update. If there's 3 pages, why are these missing areas over here? Things like that. Overall interface, much better than Smugmug though. Uploading is about just as fast. I didn't really experience too much uploading over one service or another. Downside of this one right now, which is another thing that they are fixing, is they don't have a bulk backup service. Smugmug doesn't either, though. You have to go in and download all of the galleries, but you can download an entire gallery all at once, zips it up, and sends it to you. This doesn't have that yet. So anyway, so I was going to go in and show you like creating new galleries. So when you get to a new gallery, basically you'll just name it, turn on commerce, choose which package that you've set up the pricing for, and the pricing is pretty standard actually. So it's going to be about on par with Smugmug. Sharing options, portfolio visibility, so you can hide it later on, apply your watermark, password protection. There is right-click protection, which I actually like theirs a lot more than Smugmug. If you Smugmug, you try to do the right-click save, and it just pops up on not allowing you to right-click. And this one, it allows people to right-click and save, but it doesn't overlay, and it's a blank image called kitties. So if they try to do this, it'll just download a blank image of a file named kitty. So that's interesting. They do have built-in SEO, so does Smugmug, but this one is built in. It looks like a WordPress plugin called Yoast SEO. It looks very, very, very similar to that, but I like it actually has it built in right on the spot rather than having to go to another interface to go to. You can change the permalink, the gallery, and choose a date for it with things that I'm not really going to worry about right now. And once you get save, you're basically just going through and anything goes boom, this gallery is empty. You can drag and drop on here, but because I'm recording in full screen, I'm not going to worry about it at the moment. Let's see if I've got any ones. I'll just take these sortable textures that I've been using. Remember, it's only going to grab the JPEGs. So sortable textures, things that I was looking at for inspiration and using for other photo shoots. So yeah, uploading pretty good. It continuously keeps trying to upload. So yeah, it works really, really well. Blog, I'm actually going to go create a new blog post so you can see that because I thought it was really nifty in how they did it. It's very, very similar as far as the SEO, things like that, the settings. You can connect it to Discus for people to allow to comment. One of the biggest requests right now is for them to add like Facebook commenting, so it automatically, creates a conversation on Facebook when you're done with this. Also, I think it'd be a little bit easier to administrate through that rather than having to go to a third-party website. So the title, the excerpt, permalink, which it'll generate for you if you don't, so don't worry about that. The hero image is the thing that shows up above the blog post, as well as the background image. It's a little bit big, in my opinion, but it works. So I'm not really complaining about it too much. You can choose to post the blog post on a future or past date. And this is their post builder, which again it looks very familiar to a WordPress plugin that I've used before because it allows you to create separation columns. This is where you add one content, another one over here. I think it looked a little weird, so I kind of tend to stay away from that. So you can choose a column, a heading, test, list, video. See, this is what I was talking about. The drag video, I couldn't find a video format that worked for it, so all I did was just paste in a video link from YouTube, and it worked just fine. And then you click one of either this button or this button to add content above or below, or you can click this and move it once you have more content in there. So if you do text, I have a thing that'll actually generate text for me. Just paste it in. It doesn't actually have a built-in editor like WordPress, which is one of the things I kind of wish it did. But WordPress has the select this text to be a header, select this text to be a paragraph. You have to do it one by one, which is again kind of annoying. But it has a lot of things that are built in that are really nice, like pulling images directly from your uploaded galleries or making a slideshow pulled from your uploaded galleries. Most of the other services have something similar, but not that's built in to like a blog. And I think a lot of the other services are really, really shooting themselves in the foot not having authors or photographers that to have that ability. It creates more user interaction. You can create a journal of your photo shoots, things that you're doing. Maybe you're doing like a behind the scenes. There's a lot of projects coming up that I want to do that for. So to summarize these two things up, they're both really good. They've both been dropping their prices. Smugmug is going to be cheaper, has the ability to upload different file formats like PNG, GIF, and video. But it does not have the ability to do a blog, and the user interface is not as friendly. The website builder is a little bit clunky. Those are the ups, the pros and cons. Photo Merchant is going to be a little bit more. You could honestly probably do the 14 because even Smugmug still has branding on it in areas that they say they don't. You have to actually use CSS styles to hide some of their branding. Which I guess is a violation of their terms of service, so I didn't do it, but they did say that they'd be removing a lot of it, and it still shows up at the bottom of the site, which I find to be annoying. Photo Merchant hides everything, but it's more expensive, does not have video, only accepts one file format. But one of the biggest things is it does have a blog. Pricing, as far as the products that you're selling, about the same. Quality of the products that they're selling, about the same. So in my mind, I'm highly leaning towards Photo Merchant right now. like I said, I've been using Smugmug for years, and it took me years and years and years. Actually, I shouldn't say years. I'd say months and months and months of researching good photo services that had the products that I wanted. I looked into building my own WordPress blog and trying to sell photos from there. And there's no services that connect to any print labs, and I didn't want to have to worry about going through and sending all of the photos that people purchase to print labs and thus keeping them on my computer. I keep everything on backup drives, but wouldn't want to have to worry about going and grabbing a specific backup drive 6 years down the road from, for a grandpa that wants to print out images from a wedding that he was at, like his granddaughter was getting married at, and bring those to a photo lab and then worry about shipping those off to him. I wanted a service that is automated. For people that are just selling one or two pieces or maybe a few pieces that are like, big cartel. Somebody just recently brought that one to my attention. It's great, but it still has a limit on the amount of art pieces that you can upload. It doesn't have an unlimited package, and if it did, it would be more expensive than these. So these, they're sending them to the print lab for you. They're shipping them to the customer for you. They're taking a small percentage, but you're just collecting the money for sitting back and doing nothing other than uploading to your website and keeping them there. It has been very beneficial for me, for especially weddings, when I do shoot weddings. I create a private gallery link for them. It'll hide the owner so they don't accidentally go stumbling across my website and find things that they don't like. Um, Smugmug has that feature. I haven't checked into the feature on this one in Photo Merchant, but I'll get back to you on that. Um, it's really nice to have that ability to send it out. So I'm like, here's your link. Your photos are going to be here forever. You can either download them for free, because if somebody pays me for a wedding, I give them the option to download their photos from the website without charging them anything. Or if they want to buy prints, I keep it at the same price as if they wanted to take the photos to CVS and buy them. And that's just for your normal